welcome into Between the Pylons. I'm John Camacho.
And this is Jacob Waters.
And guys, we have an awesome show for you today. We are going to be talking about the NFC playoff picture in the NFL. That's our only topic. We're going to be doing that and then picks, and we're going to try and keep it under an hour. We've been really trying to cut back on our length of pods. We could talk for 6 hours straight, but no one will listen. So
exactly.
So we're going to keep this going. And by the way, I do owe another shot. If you're watching on YouTube, you're going to see me take another shot at some point in the show because I spilled my first one and it was a party foul. So I did win the bet. We have to talk about how I won the bet. Like, we got to get there first.
For sure.
Tell them the bet. Tell them your experience because you lost and it might have been tough for you.
We made the bet last week. We both felt pretty different about the way this game was going to be played. This was the Bills-Cardinals game. You know, I thought the Bills were just going to be able to come out, Josh Allen passing the ball really well, just be dominant. John, of course, thought Kyler Murray, MVP, prowess, going to take care of business and do it. Yeah. Well, ends up we were both kind of right. It was a great game. As of now, probably game of the year, and play of the year happened in this game. So 30 seconds are left. Josh Allen throws an absolute dot to Stephon Diggs. Looks like the game winner. Beautiful. Awesome pass. It was going to go out on a high note. Mm-hmm. I felt like whichever quarterback won this game really, jumps in the MVP power rankings, doing really well. And I was like, oh, let's go. John's got to do shots. I win. 4 seconds left. They're at 50-yard line. Kyler's just making some time, just doing what he does, and just yeets the ball. D-Hop's down there somewhere, and he snags on 3 people, one of them being Tre'Davious White, all-pro.
Ridiculous.
It was insane.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
And I lose.
And the crazy thing is the Cardinals were favored by 2 points. And they didn't kick the extra point because they just took the knee to win the game. Yep. And so because of that, or not to win the game, to make sure that they wouldn't have like a kick return or something like that. So they take the knee and then they win the game the next play. But it was the Cards were favored by 2. So I won our bet and I won my pick, but I pushed on the spread. And that was a tough one. That was a tough to push on.
And it comes back to the bet too, because you offered me the points.
I did. We would have split, and we both would have had to take 2 shots.
And I was like, no, I'm good. And there we go.
That's awesome. All right, so let's get into
it. Great game, though.
And a great game. Like, play of the year. I mean, and you almost undersold it, and you did a great job telling the story. But, like, 3 people ready in motion. If you haven't seen the play, then you just don't follow football, and I don't know why you're listening to us. But go watch it again, because it's fucking awesome.
He absolutely mossed 3 guys.
Absolutely awesome.
You just don't see stuff like that.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. All right, so let's get into the NFC. We're going to do playoff picture. So right now it's a 7-team playoff picks, right? So that's how we're going to look at it. Now there are possibility that if COVID, hits harder and the NFL has to shut down for a couple weeks, what they're probably going to do is just open up the playoff seating and allow a couple extra teams in. We're not going to really focus on that right now. We're just going to focus on the way the playoffs are slated this year. And for those of you who don't know, it is the winner of each division automatically gets in their 1 through 4 seeds, and then the top 3 teams that didn't win their division get a spot. It used to be top 2, but with the CBA, they added an extra wild card spot. So that, just so we're all on the same page, I wanted to put that in there. And then let's go through NFC East, and we are going to go rapid fire. We're not going to spend really any time on this. NFC East, who do you think wins the division?
Man, that's the problem, is that you have a 3-5-1, a 3-7, 2-7, 2-7.
Yeah.
Right now, the team that is playing the best, and you're probably not going to agree with me, but it's the Giants. Yeah. Daniel Jones came out and he's had 3 really good weeks in a row now, looking really good with some of the pieces that they have. Schedule going forward, they got some pretty bad games coming up. They got the Seahawks, the Cardinals, Browns, Ravens. It's not favorable. Tough road. It's not. Well, and you're 2-7 too, so we can't give them any of those games anyways. No. But the way that this division goes, Eagles are 3-5-1. There we go.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, I'm taking the Eagles to win this. Look, the Giants just beat the Eagles 27-17, and I absolutely agree with you. You look at what the Giants have done, and I remember saying this last week on the pod that that I really thought the Giants had a real good chance to win this game. I thought it was a coin flip game, and I think it really was. I mean, Giants came out and played really well. Last couple of weeks, the Giants win by 3 points versus Washington. They lose by 2 points to the Bucs. They lose by 2 points to the Eagles. They beat Washington by 2 points. They They lose to the Cowboys by 3 points. Every game's been close.
Yeah.
Like the past 6 weeks, every game's been close. I think that's going to go down the stretch. And really, that's a testament to Joe Judge, who is doing a great job implementing, a New England style team that just plays hard, plays rough, don't have a ton of talent on defense, but they're making it work. Daniel Jones, really, look, you can say whatever you want about him, however you think. I think it's too early to judge him one way or the other because, look, he doesn't have a ton of talent around him. He lost Saquon Barkley in week 1 or 2. I don't remember which. But either way, a running back that Wayne Gallman out of Clemson, who was like a 6th or 7th round pick, nobody who's playing okay, but but nothing special. Offensive line isn't good. Wide receiver weapon, there's pieces there, but it's not a complete core that you think is going to be competitive. Either way, playing really well. I absolutely agree that they have a chance. I'm going to take the Eagles. I'm going to take Carson Wentz and the talent. But like I said, whoever wins this division, basically they're in a really bad spot for the future because they're automatically have a 20+ draft pick. However far they go in the.
That's why I wouldn't want this because you're going to go from a top 10 pick right now. The Cowboys, they have the 4th overall pick right now.
Yeah, and
they could run the table. They have the talent to where yes, they haven't been clicking right now, but they could get it going. And fuck around and have the 22nd overall pick.
Yeah, because you're going to lose first round.
You don't want that.
And the rest of the teams we talk about, in my opinion, in the playoffs,
leaps and bounds better.
It's not a chance. Even if they're playing at home, even if it's like the Eagles in January or whenever. I don't care. I'm still taking whichever team has to go there. It just doesn't matter. Whichever wildcard team gets to play the NFC East is a lucky team. Anyway, let's move past that and get into NFC West. And I think this is like the most interesting spot. And what I want to do is we're gonna figure out who we think is going to be the playoff the division winner, and then we'll go back and pick 3 teams that we think get the wildcard spot because it's still really early. We're going into week 10, so we're going to generalize a little bit, but we just want to get like an overall estimation of who's doing well, who's not. And the NFC is loaded. A lot of good teams. But right now, let's look at NFC West. We have the Cardinals at 6-3 sitting atop the NFC West, the Rams at 6-3, and the Seahawks all at 6-3. Cardinals win the tiebreaker, so they're at the top. But that is a tightly contested race. And the 49ers, which I don't want to talk about right now because we're talking division winner. I don't think the 49ers are going to be able to get there. Have a good shot to get to a playoff spot. I know that sounds crazy, but I mean, they play the Rams next week. They play the Bills, but the rest of their schedule is Washington, Cowboys, Cardinals, Seahawks. It's not easy, but it is doable, especially if they can get their quarterback back.
Injuries have derailed the 49ers.
They really have.
So, I mean, we know that that's without saying. Looking at the division, I want to say Russell Wilson and the Seahawks.
Yeah.
His play has declined a little bit from MVP caliber. He's still doing great, still doing all things Russell should do, but there's mistakes here and there that kind of cost him the game last week against the Rams, and that's why I'm going to take the Rams to win the division because I think it's the thing. Wow. I think it's the thing no one's saying.
Threw me off. Okay.
I think it's the thing that no one's saying though. Sean McVay. They were playing really good team ball, complimentary ball. Their defense is playing lights out. Jalen Ramsey DK was an awesome show. Jalen Ramsey definitely took it, though. And took it and ran with it. Yeah. Aaron Donald on defense. They're a team. They play really good. I think they're not the best team in this division, but the way that their schedule shapes up, I think that they're going to be able to take the division because of that.
Do you want to walk them through the schedule just for people that don't know?
Yeah, they play the Buccaneers this week on Monday night, and we'll get to our picks eventually, but I'll go ahead and spoil it. I have the Rams winning this game. Buccaneers just kind of they've been on a skid lately. Injured 49ers. Cardinals, I think, are playing a little bit ahead of what their record says they are. The good team, but defensively, they're not ready to compete yet. They're just not. Offensively, you're as good as what version of Kyler you get. There's times it's MVP. There's times where you do get some sloppy mistakes every now and then. It's a young quarterback. That stuff happens, But so I think they're going to get that. Patriots, Jets, and then you finish it with Seahawks, Cardinals. So a lot of division-based matchups down the road. Yeah. But I mean, I see them winning 3 out of these 5. Yeah. Or 4 out of the 6, actually.
The thing about the Rams is you give them if you think they beat the Bucs, you're saying they're going to win the 3 division rivals, right?
They're going to take care of the Patriots. They're going to take care of the Jets,
and then the rest of the division. Yeah. So it's a crazy schedule. That's awesome for this division. It's
really not the sexy pick. I know it's not, and it's not the best team pick. but going forward, I think the Rams.
You think they're going to edge them out? So this is why I'm going to say I disagree, and it's truly just based on one thing. I actually think the Rams end up third in this division when it's all said and done, and one reason only. I think Jared Goff is really, really average, and I think the other two quarterbacks that we're talking about are better. And
our franchise,
our franchise, stars, and Jared Goff does not deserve the money he's gotten. I'll say that. And if you like him as a quarterback, that's fine. But he's an average quarterback. He's a fine starter in the NFL, but he's not special. And the other two are special, in my opinion. So when you have that type of guy, there's going to be weeks where you're just going to lose to a team that you might be better than, but
that's why the Cardinals' record is 6-3.
Exactly.
Right now.
If you have a quarterback, is the great equalizer. So that's where I go with the Rams. I see what you're saying. I still do lean Seahawks. I get that they're on a skid. What, they lost 3 of their last 4 games, I think. They lost to the Bills. They lost to the Rams, so they're on a 2-game losing streak.
And then you have the Cardinals going back.
Then they beat, so they lost 3 of their last 4 games. I get that it sounds bad, right? But they do still get to go play the Cardinals again. I don't think they're going to lose to the Cardinals twice. That's going to be a great Thursday night game.
And the thing for them is they get to absolutely destroy the NFC East.
They have an easy run. They get Eagles, they get Giants, they get Jets. Their next 4 games. So after they play the Cardinals, I completely missed that.
They get the whole division.
4 games after this week is Eagles, Giants, Jets, Washington. They should go 5-1 at the absolute worst over the next 5 weeks, and that's giving the Cardinals a win. So they can easily go on a 5-win streak, and then we're not even thinking about this blip in the radar. So that's how it goes. So I am taking the Seahawks to win this division. I do think they're the better team. I still think Russell Wilson is going to be the MVP at the end of the day. I understand he's had a bad couple weeks, but man, they don't have a running game. Their top 2 running backs are gone. Actually, their top 3 running backs are hurt. So
they had to bring in Alex Collins, who hasn't played football in a year.
Yeah, so they're playing with no running game, and their defense is shit. Their defense is absolute shit. It's worse than I think we thought it was going to be. Now, I do think with Jones getting back, he's going to get healthier. He's going to get better. Did I say the wrong name? Jones.
You're talking about Jamal.
I'm talking about Jamal Adams. I don't know why. I'm thinking Rashad Jones, the Dolphins safety, for whatever reason. But yeah, Jamal Adams he's back and he's healthy, but he's going to get better every week, and he's going to get back into the swing of things. I do think he's a difference maker on defense. They've been missing that, so it's going to get better. It's not going to be great, but it's going to get a little bit better in my opinion. And yeah, the Seahawks have to win one way. They have to outscore you. And if Russell Wilson has a bad game, it's over. Seahawks cannot win if Russell Wilson has a bad game, and that's I'll sit here and say, if he has a really bad game, he'll lose to the Eagles, Giants, Jets, and Washington.
Seahawks are a gritty team, but their defense, like you said, is really bad, and it allows the door to be open for any team out there on any given week to compete with them.
Exactly.
That's why I went Rams though, because you look at the Cardinals. Cardinals, because neither of us are going to pick them. They are a good team offensively, the number 1 offensive team in the NFL. Their defense just can't get the job done though. Yep. They're not there yet. They're not built. And, the schedule going forward for them, they play the Seahawks. We get to see how that divisional game shapes up. Patriots, Rams division. Then they also get to kind of beat up on the NFC East going forward with the Giants, the Eagles, and then divisional 49ers Rams closer.
Yeah.
I don't see them really taking too many out of this.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. I could easily see the Cardinals getting it. One of these teams, I will say this. I'll say this right now. 3 of these teams are going to the playoffs. Is that fair to say? Do you agree with that?
No.
Really?
They're force fed that. They're force fed these 3 going. I'm having faith for my purple people eaters right here because you have the Saints Buccaneers division winner. The other guy's getting that wild card.
So the Vikings
that's already penciled in. Saints Buccaneers. Yeah. One of them is penciled in. I need me as a Vikings fan. I need one of those NFC West to kind of drop. At 2, but as of now, yes, the way that it's shaped up, all 3 of those teams would get in.
All right, so we might disagree down the stretch, but just keep that in mind.
Yeah, as of
whoever
now,
wins this division, 3 are getting into the playoffs. 3 of them are gonna. I would almost guarantee you, I would make a bet right now, a significant shot bet, that one of these 3 teams will be a wild card team, and one of these 3 teams that is the wild card team will beat the division winner that they play. I don't know who it'll be.
Well, because they get to line up against the NFC East opponent.
They might not to. They might not get to. I mean, that could easily end up being like the Bucs or Saints could end up having a really better record and getting to face that. So yeah, there's that aspect of it. But either way, I think the Seahawks can beat the Packers on their best day. Like it'd be a great game. I'm not saying they will definitely win, but they can. The Cardinals can I mean, you know what I mean?
So let's look.
Is that fair to say?
Let's look at an entire Super Bowl picture now, because that's why because I chose Rams division.
Mm-hmm.
Super Bowl outlook, playoff legitimacy run wise, goes to Seattle here for me.
Yeah, I don't think they can get
Seattle
there.
with Russ it's the Russ factor. Yeah. They have a better shot than the Rams and Cardinals at making a deep move in the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think any one of these teams gets to the Super Bowl. At the end of the day, there's too much of a like each one of these teams, as good as they are, they're missing something, right?
Yeah, of course.
Russell Wilson is great, and we have seen teams that just are a great offense really just be able to propel themselves all the way to the Super Bowl and win it. That has happened in the past, but is not the thing that I'm going to bet on. It's not the thing that I'm going to expect. If it happens, I'm not going to say you're going to be shocked by it, but I don't think it'll happen. So Seahawks, I'm going to say can't happen. Rams, look, they're a good football team, but their offense is not nearly as good as it was when they went to the Super Bowl the last time. And to me, everybody's figured out the Sean McVay clever offense, and they still have other things they can do. They're still a good team, and they're still a well-coached, schematic team. Well. Their defense is awesome. I still think I can see it. I can see them getting to the Super Bowl. I don't think they'd win it because I don't believe in Jared Goff. Maybe that's my bias. And then Cardinals, I almost exactly the same thing I'll say about the Seahawks. Cardinals are a great offense. They have pieces, but they're not even as good of an offense as the Seahawks on their best day, I don't think.
Yeah.
And the Cardinals defense, it's not good.
It's weird how similar they are. Yeah. They're both lacking defense. They're led by a true franchise guy, playmaker at quarterback with good pieces around you, but it's still not there yet.
I would argue both of them have a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL. Both of them have a top. I 100% believe DK's in that category. Some people might disagree with me. I'm actually putting out a video later this week.
He's there
about that. Like I think he's the best. I think he's the best wide receiver in the NFL right now. I really believe that.
Now it's D-Hops after that catch.
Last week was awesome. You're absolutely
after that game changer type vibe. Yeah. DK got shut down by Jalen Ramsey. Shutdowns happen all the time in the league, by the way. I mean, D-Hops has been shut down several times before, but right now you got to ride the high, ride the wave.
That's fair. That's totally fair. I'll give you that. Either way, both great wide receivers, both great quarterbacks. Honestly, you look at the Cardinals. If they have all their pieces, they have a better defense than the Seahawks. They do. I mean, really, like they have pieces on the defensive line. They have pieces at linebacker with Isaiah Simmons, who's been kind of had a slow start, but he's doing okay. And then obviously in the back end, you have Buda Baker and Patrick Peterson. The Cardinals defense, it's not complete and it's missing pieces. It definitely has some deficiencies, but it
keep them from losing Chandler Jones, and they got the level thing taken care of, man. I mean, they got a guy at every spot, and they're starting to come together pretty well.
Absolutely agree. All right, let's move on. We spent a lot of time on the NFC West. NFC North is next. This is a little bit easier. Packers are winning this division, right?
Yeah, they are. Packers are winning this division.
Yeah. So we'll go down the list. The Bears are the worst 5-5 team I've seen. I mean, I don't know how they've won 5 games.
They peaked at 5-1, and every single one of us knew they were the imposters.
And they're a 4-game losing streak, and I think it's going to continue. Look, they just don't have the offense that can keep up with the defense. Their defense, it's as good as any in the NFL. And I will sit here say right now, if the Seahawks had the Bears defense, they would be a Super Bowl winner, like guaranteed lock. I mean, even get down the line, give the Vikings the Bears defense, and the Vikings are in contention with the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Vikings are a good offense, but not great. You give them that defense, holy shit. Because that's all the Bears need. They just need something on offense. Matt Nagy is the absolute worst coach in the NFL. That's not what this segment's about, so we don't need to get into that. But I truly believe that. Go down a rung, because the Bears are still technically second in that division. The Vikings, they're on a 3-game winning streak. They were 4-2, and now they were 1-5. They were 1-5. Now they're 4-5. They're going on a run, and they are going to be in contention for a playoff spot. They're fighting. They are a good team. I'm not going to. We'll go back and we'll circle back to the Vikings. We'll circle that and we'll look at it. Anywhere else you want to go with this division, Lions are out, right? They're 4-5 as well.
Lions don't have a chance.
They're not
kind of battling injuries too.
Yeah.
For their year outlook though, I would say a lot of positive things come from it. Deandre Swift starting to come into his own. Your defense is playing good.
Yeah.
Patricia is a good coach. He's the guy.
Really? You think? I think they need to move on from Patricia.
I don't think they need to move on from him.
Really? Okay.
I like kind of the system that he's doing. They're 4-5 right now. So last year was bad. Get his guys in there. This year's better. Now going into next year is where we really got to see true growth.
Yeah.
And might be coming from a new quarterback. I don't know. We'll get to that later, though.
Yeah, we'll see on that. I actually, if I had the choice between getting rid of Stafford or Patricia, I would take Patricia. I would move on from Patricia and keep Stafford. I think Stafford's a great quarterback.
I like Stafford a lot. He's great. I'm just saying years down the road, you got to eventually.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. I thought you were saying this offseason.
No.
All right. So yeah, Packers win this division. Aaron Rodgers is a baller. I really think this is just going to be the same story with the Packers as ever. I mean, they're going to get to the playoffs and they're going to lose in the playoffs. Doesn't that feel like the story?
That's what happens,
right? I mean, it's happened every single year. Aaron Rodgers, look, he's playing within the system. He's playing a lot better than he was last year. The Packers actually look like a formidable offense. Their defense is good. They definitely have pieces, but at the end of the day, I think they're going to lose to one of these really good teams. At the end of the day, it's just how I see it happening.
It's weird how it goes like that because Aaron Rodgers has his games where he throws for 350, 4 touchdowns, making all these insane plays. Then he has some where he's kind of held back by that system. That system kind of slow start, doesn't really get that groove. Next thing you know, he only throws for 180 and a pick or so. Yeah. Just because it's the third quarter and LaFleur's like, oh, we can't just run the ball all the time now. We got to, Aaron Rodgers say,
we got to be cute.
Yeah, and then, it's too late for that. But they're going to take this division. Yeah. Vikings should be coming in second place in this.
I believe that.
I was going into it at 1-5, like, please lose. Yeah. Why are we hurting our draft pick? Yeah. And now I'm at 4-5 thinking, well, it's too late to want to lose now, so let's win some games. I hope that's where we keep going. Dalvin's doing really good. Zimmer is coaching his ass off right now on defense. He is really showing why he's such a defensive-minded coach because when you look at it, we don't have Daniil. We traded away Yannick. Our best defensive lineman, Hedigbo.
I don't know.
That's not even a name that.
Yeah, as somebody who considers himself like a savant of the NFL, I really follow really close. I couldn't tell you one defensive lineman on that team.
That's how crazy it is right now having Michael Pierce opt out. We have Kendricks and Barr in there. We have Anthony Harris and Harrison Smith. Yeah. But other than that, our oldest corner's 25 years old. It's a bad defense, and Zimmer is doing a really good job in keeping that. Right now, whoever our special teams coach is after that Bears game, by the way, get his ass out of there. It was one of the ugliest games of the year, wasn't it?
Awful. Yeah, I didn't watch it. I'm not going to lie to you.
The only 3 uglier games is the Bears Jets, the Bears and someone else, and the Bears. Yeah, it's just Bears play ugly football, man. I don't know what it is.
It's nasty football every single week. Yeah, and the sad part is they're in position to win because of their defense almost every week.
And I love that defense that Chuck Pagano was able to do. I think Matt Nagy should be gone.
You said it, and I absolutely agree because you texted me during the game, and you were like, get the entire coaching staff out. And I was like, actually about to reply, Chuck Pagano's awesome. Like Chuck Pagano's doing his job. And then you like sent another text before I even sent that out. You're like, Chuck Pagano needs to be elevated head coach because you're absolutely right.
That defense is able to keep them in any game out there, and it's sad to be.
So I have heard this, and we're going a little off topic, and we'll get back to this really quickly. But I had heard that when Pagano lost the job with the Colts, the head coaching job, he was so excited to go back and be a defensive coordinator. I don't think he wants to be a head coach. He
may be just chilling right now. He has Khalil Mack. He has all these fun pieces.
Yeah, he's a great defensive coordinator. He's a great defensive mind in the NFL. I truly believe he could get the offer to be a head coach and turn it down. It might not happen this year because it's so recent that he kind of failed with the Cowboys or with the Colts, but still it could happen pretty soon. It wouldn't shock me at all. But let's move on. NFC South. Who do you think wins this division? It's between the Saints and the Bucs. Both are set. Well, actually, Saints are 7-2. Bucs are 7-3. And then you have the Falcons and Panthers that are 3-win teams. So we're not going to talk about them. But Saints and Bucs, who wins this division?
As a joke, I hope the Saints so the Vikings get the wild card and we can knock them out like we do every year. Haha, who dat? But I think the Bucs are winning this division, especially with the injury to Drew Brees. He has a couple broken ribs or something like that and a punctured lung. So he's going to be out from 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to get to see Sean Payton's genius kind of come back into it, see what Jameis is all about. This is his audition for next year's offseason. So, yeah, I mean, they're probably going to win. Last year, whenever they lost him and had Teddy step up, they won every single game when he was out. Yeah. This year, maybe 1-3 while Every's out.
So I was actually prepared to go in because we knew we were going to talk about this. And I was so excited to give you this take. I don't know how long that Drew Brees is going to be out. Let's say 4 weeks. If it's 4 weeks, the Saints are going to go undefeated. And James Winston is going to go 4-0 as a starter for the Saints.
He's going to make that big money.
You want to know why? Because he gets to play the Falcons, the Broncos, the Falcons, and the Eagles the next 4 weeks. Then you have to play the Chiefs, Vikings, and Panthers to show it out. Really, you look at this schedule, I mean, they have 1 loss on the record. Like,
not one of those defenses is top 15 and up.
No, that's including. They might not even be top 20. I mean,
that's the first 4. I was only giving that to the Chiefs.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So yeah,
Jameis gets his time.
Jameis isn't a perfect opportunity to fuck this up. And look, Jameis is not Bridgewater. Jameis could absolutely fuck this up. He is that guy who will be in a perfect situation and fuck it up. So we'll see what happens. I mean, look, he was with the Bucs last year. What the Bucs had every single offensive weapon you could ask for, and they fucked it up there.
7-3 now.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think I'm crazy saying that. But yeah, he's in a perfect position. He has to look at this schedule, and obviously you take it week by week, and we'll see what happens. Football's weird, but you look at this schedule as a whole. Yeah, Jameis has no excuse. You have Michael Thomas back. You have a healthy core. The Saints were kind of hit with the injury bug early, but they've gotten healthy, and then now Drew Brees goes down, not healthy anymore. But yeah, very winnable. I'm saying the Saints win this division, but
I think this is one of the most. Both the Saints and the Buccaneers are the most complete teams the NFC has to offer.
Absolutely agree.
The team that comes after that would be the Packers, but the Packers in LaFleur's system it's just this little thing for them to get to the playoffs and lose, like we said. It's the monkey they got to get off their back. Saints and Buccaneers right now, with Tom Brady being at the helm for the Bucs and Drew Brees at the Saints, these are guys who know how to win. Their playoff time is the time that they're used to. That's what they know, and they're ready to get going in that. Yeah, I think the Bucs are going to take the division and go with it from there. I'm afraid to say it because I want to put the Bucs at the Super Bowl level. They're really good. But we have seen some games where they struggle to get going. And
they couldn't get off the ground against the Saints.
Well, and that's the thing, and I haven't gone back and watched. The Saints have their number.
Yeah.
Marshawn Lattimore locked up Mike Evans. He has 12 targets, 0 catches or something. It's insane
crazy stupid
to think about it. So I don't know what is going on there. I want to put the Bucs in the Super Bowl, but they struggled against the Giants. Mm-hmm. They struggled this past week.
They struggled. Was it the Giants? I see. It wasn't the
Giants.
Past week.
That
was a couple weeks ago.
Good. Yeah,
it was
a couple weeks ago.
Panthers. Yeah,
they had 4 straight 3-and-outs, and it was like, what's going on? They're kind of.
That's right. Yeah, they barely were able to beat.
And then it was the Saints beatdown.
Yeah,
was what they're coming off of. So
they came off
great team, but they have a hard schedule to end it.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And look, the Bears beat the Bucs a couple weeks ago. Not too long ago. The Bucs are beatable. I understand that's only 2 or 3 games that they've lost, but they're very, very beatable. They've shown that they.
So you don't think they're as good as I do?
I think they're really. You're absolutely right. What you said is perfect. They are absolutely a fully fleshed out, complete football team. But I mean, they've shown the ability to lose some games that they shouldn't, and they've shown the ability to not be competitive in games that. I mean, this roster, there's not a single game, not a single opponent that they should play where they're not competitive. And I'm sorry, they weren't even close to competitive against the Saints. And granted, maybe that's 1 week, that's 1 game, 1 bad game. Everybody has it. I get it. But I need to see them string together some wins, because even against the Panthers, they blew out the Panthers really.
Yeah.
In the the last quarter and a half.
Very close though.
But there's 2.5 quarters really where the Panthers looked like they could fuck around and win that game. So
Saints are winning it for you.
I think the Saints win this too, especially after looking at their schedule, man. I just don't see how they don't get. I don't see how they lose 2 games the rest of the year.
That's the thing. It's the absence of Brees.
Yeah, but he'll be back.
He will be back, and he'll be back at the right. Honestly, this is good for him because he, with that old body, give yourself a break and wait for the time that matters. Because I think that was one of the things that hurt him last year, and he still had a break last year, but he had to come back. And then he got going, and it was that game against the Vikings. I've said it time and time. He looked tired. He looked like he couldn't throw the ball.
He just couldn't get the ball. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. So he needs to be fresh if he's going to be able to really legitimately compete in the
absolutely
playoffs.
Agree. All right, so we have the division winners. We kind of went through that.
Who's your 3-headed monster? I want that.
3-headed monster? What do you mean?
The 3 best teams in the NFC.
Wow,
when we go to Super Bowl, give me 3 because we're going to do the AFC next week.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out, do you think the NFC 3 is better or the AFC 3?
It's so tough because the NFC is deeper than the AFC.
It is
deeper. there's a just really, really fast. There's a drop off from good to bad for the AFC, right? It's that. That second tier of teams.
There's no division that has 3 truly great teams.
Yeah, competing. It's one of those things where it's you look at the second tier, like the Dolphins, the Raiders, honestly the Ravens. Now they're in that the Titans, all second tier really good teams that are going to be in the playoffs and going to have something to say. Versus the Seahawks, the Rams, or the Cardinals, whoever you want to say is second tier there.
Saints, Bucs.
Yeah, exactly. That second tier, it's not even a competition. So I
need your 3.
You need my 3. I'll say. I'm going to say Saints. I'm going to say Saints, Packers, Seahawks. That's where I'm going to go with it.
Saints, Packers, Seahawks. Those are the 3 that. So one of those will be at the championship game. Put money on it.
Yeah.
Mine goes Saints, Buccaneers, Packers.
Okay. That's fair. And look, I'm not sitting here saying that the Cardinals can't fuck around and make a run. Like
any of these
I'm not
teams
saying,
capable,
yeah, exactly.
If you got to rank them 1, 2, 3.
I'm not saying the Bucs can't. The Bucs should probably be my 4th also, just to put that out there. I think that maybe it's that blowout loss to the Saints on Monday night is just seared in my brain a little bit too much. Maybe I'm letting that like influence me. But yeah, no, I agree. I'm right there with you. So let's pick the division. Let's pick the 7 teams that are going to be in the playoffs. Yeah. So we don't have to go 1 through 7. It's too early for that. I'm going to say, I want to agree on this too. So we'll have to negotiate a little bit.
Oh, damn. We'll just go ahead and write the Vikings. So let's make it easy.
Let's say Saints, Bucs are easy, right? So we got 2 right there.
The Vikings for me real quick. This will take
just
10
to look
seconds.
At their schedule.
I need to see how it closes because it's an easy schedule.
Jeez,
Cowboys, Panthers, Jags, Bears, Lions.
They could win out, yeah. All they have to do is beat the Saints, and they have a really good chance of winning out. Because you got Cowboys, Panthers, Jags, Buccaneers, Bears, Saints, Lions. So Bucs and Saints are really the only 2 teams you got to worry about. Yeah, you could easily win out. And honestly, you went out, you might be competing for the division. I'm not saying you will. Honestly, the Vikings are the kind of team they could lose a couple games they shouldn't. But I don't know, man. Okay, that's tough.
Go back to the Cardinals one last time, real quick. I got to see where I can script their wins. I have them beating the Giants. I have them beating the Eagles. Where else would you give them? Where would you force feed the win? I got the Vikings at 8-8 right now.
I'll give them the Rams, and I'll give them you said the Patriots, right?
Okay, so there we go.
Yeah, then so that's 3. So that gives it to the Cardinals.
Cardinals would be the last.
So I agree because if it were me picking my 7, just me, I'm saying Saints, Bucs, Packers, Seahawks, Rams, Cardinals. Wait.
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, and then the NFC East, whatever it is. Yeah. So Eagles. Sorry, I was looking at this. I was like, wait, there's another team. Yeah, okay. So that's right. Where would you be? You can pick different, I guess. But
my different would be just the NFC East winner, and just saying that I think the Giants are going to fuck around and win some games, just because I think it's a feel good story. I want to see it happen with Joe Judge. Yeah. So give it to the Giants, whoever that is. Eagles, Giants, Cowboys, first round loser. There you go. Packers winning the division. I'm going to have the Rams winning that division, so the Seahawks are getting a wild card. Saints win the division. So I have, Giants, Rams, Packers, Bucs, and now my teams go Saints, Cardinals, Seahawks. I mean, that's just how.
Fair enough. Yeah,
that's got to shape up.
Like you have a chance as a fan.
Started too little, too late.
You have a chance as a fan, but you're gonna need something to happen, right? Yeah, you're 2 games back from a division spot, right? Because that's how you have to look at it. Whether it's the Cardinals, Rams, or Seahawks, whoever fucks up in this division right here, because you're not going to catch up with the Saints or Bucs. So as a fan, just as a Vikings fan,
I have 3 ways.
You're 2 games back from a wild card spot. You just need to catch up, and you need one of these teams to fuck up.
And the best thing about that is that each of these teams play each other once, if not twice, for some of them. So
you have a chance. Yeah, they're gonna beat each other. I absolutely agree. You just want one team to get beat up the most. You know, you don't. I need
the Rams to just go on a skid 4 games in a row or something. There's a chance.
I love it. All right, so that was a great conversation. We're gonna do AFC next week, and then after that, we're gonna do a loaded show of teams that we are giving up on. So last week we did 2 close the book episode, or close the book teams. We're gonna let that sit.
Next 2 weeks, so there's gonna be a lot of books.
Exactly. Yeah. We're gonna let it sit. So we did NFC this week. We're gonna do AFC next week, and then we will move forward from there. Let's get into our picks and close out the show. All right. So here we are. Awesome Thursday night game. We got to talk about that first. Thursday night, Cardinals Seahawks, the rematch of the amazing. Was that it was a primetime game? I don't remember.
There was so many things going on in that game. We got to see the DK track down. We got to see some overtime football. Yeah. All sorts of fun stuff.
Amazing game. I actually did a video, if you are interested at all, I did a video on the defense that the Cardinals showed against the Seahawks on that final drive in overtime. For the last play of the game was Isaiah Simmons coming back and getting an interception. I talked about the defense that they played, and they showed it all throughout the fourth quarter and overtime, and just how it really stripped up the Seahawks. And I will say, watching the past couple of games against the Seahawks, other teams have done that too. So I was right on that video. So if you're interested in that, go check it out. Who do you have winning this game?
I have the Seahawks winning. I have the Seahawks on the spread, and that's favoring them by 3.5 points.
Yeah.
And it's burned me the last few weeks. It burned me at the Bills game. It burned me this past week with the Rams game. But the Seahawks have got to get back on track, right? We got to
right.
see the Russell DK matchup going for 2 touchdowns at some point. Something's got to give. And I think it's going to be this week against the Cardinals. Cardinals are going to give them something for sure on offense. But, you know, you let Russ go on a short week. I think his veteran stance and the way the team goes, that's going to get it done on Thursday night.
I love it. Yeah, look, I get a lot of what you're saying. I think this is a coin flip game.
Very close, yeah, it is.
So I'm taking the Seahawks to win as well. I absolutely agree with you.
Cardinals cannot beat the Seahawks twice.
That's my whole point. Is I don't think I don't think any team beats the Seahawks twice. I just don't. You get 2 shots at Russell. Russell's going to win one of them. Yeah. I believe that wholeheartedly. I do think this is going to be a really close game. I think this is going to be an awesome game. I think this is going to be a down to the last minute game, and I could absolutely see, Murray coming out and showing off some magic and winning this game. I'm not picking that though. I am taking the Cardinals to cover 3.5. I think this game is within 3, one or the other. I'll take the Cardinals to cover. I hate doing that. That's a razor thin margin, but that's kind of where I'm at with that. And by the way, do not bet on this game. This is not a game you bet on.
No, you do not. Do you have a prop that is off the top of your head?
Oh, man. I think they're going to try and get this game ball to DK. The biggest mistake that
I was about to go DK as well.
Yeah, the biggest mistake they made last week was DK got absolutely shut down last week. And what the Cardinals did is they played a lot of man-to-man in the fourth quarter and overtime. And they said, hey, fuck it. We're going to put Patrick Peterson on DK, and we're going to trust it. And what Russell Wilson should have done is throw it up to DK. 50-50 balls, give him a chance, give DK a chance to make a play, because I guarantee you, when the Seahawks went back and watched that film, because I went back and watched that film, I guarantee you the one thing they had to be thinking was, why the fuck do we not give it to DK a little bit more?
Yeah, now, DK got one in overtime too that was called back because of the hold.
No, he absolutely did. And now Tyler Lockett blew up in that game, and I get that aspect of it, and like that's kind of where the defense was leading when they weren't playing, man to man across the board, all out blitz type of defense as far as the Cardinals are concerned. They were focusing on DK. I get that. Schematically involve him into the game. I think they're going to do that. I'm going to say 5 catches, 65 yards.
I want anytime touchdown.
Anytime touchdown. That's a good one. Yeah, anytime touchdown, DK. You'll probably get positive odds on that. So DK to have a game here. I will agree on that.
Yep.
I'll let you take it over here.
Yeah, next game, we're going Eagles going to Cleveland to play the Browns. Browns are a 3-point favorite. I'm going to take the Browns here. It was an ugly game against the Texans. I am going to defend the Browns here and Baker Mayfield in saying the conditions were horrible. You had 30-mile-an-hour winds at times, gusts to where you weren't even sure if a 20-yard field goal extra point was going to be made.
Yeah.
It was one of those games where you get to see coaching, you get to see grit, and you get to see which team comes on top. The Browns are just a better team to build in that area.
Yeah, they were.
So, the Browns are a good football team in saying weather intact, and I need to start doing a better job because we pick on Tuesday. We
don't know this. Exactly. We don't know the weather.
Going into Saturday, I might need to look at it and be like, oh, it's going to be a damn typhoon. Maybe this will be a little bit closer on the spread or on the whatever. So Browns are beating the Eagles, though.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Also, I want to go back just for a second to say anybody who was mad at Chubb for going out of bounds on that last play, I get it. You must be a fantasy owner because I don't know. Did you see that last play? Yeah,
you're a fantasy owner, but you
have to understand.
You got to revert back to when Todd Gurley fell in the end zone as a Falcon, and then the Lions won the game.
Yeah, not only that, I mean, you just don't sit back and say, oh, that was a bad decision because you were going to go up by, however many points or whatever. And it wasn't, I've heard so much of that. Maybe that's just who I follow on Twitter or whatever. I think it's dumb. I mean, you cannot get mad. First of all, if you're a fantasy owner, you have to be happy that you got an extra 60 yards out of Chubb when all they needed was a first down. I mean, it was a first down and it was over. And you're mad at Chubb for not getting your extra 6 points. It's just dumb. Whatever. He absolutely made the right call. And honestly, good on him because Chubb could have easily ran right into the end zone and said, "That's an extra touchdown on my stats." And he could have been selfish. And he was an unselfish play on his part.
It was a solid team play.
Yeah. So I actually appreciate that a whole lot. And hopefully.
I know that we appreciate it though because we didn't bet on that line.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of guys out there. It was a bad beat.
I'm sure that was.
I feel for you on that, but you need to separate your stuff and look at as a team player. That was the right move.
Yeah. And also, if you're in that position, you already knew you lost. You didn't lose anything. You just, got excited for a second. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's how I look at betting. Anyway, that's just
expecting that.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so we'll move on. Wait, did I even talk about who I think is going to win?
No.
Yeah, Browns. I do think the Browns are going to win. I think they're going to cover. This is in Cleveland. Hopefully, the winds have calmed down a little bit. Eagles just aren't as good. I mean, plain and simple, they're not a great football team right now. It is what it is. Look, Carson Wentz could come out and surprise us. I'm not sitting here. I don't want to bet on this. We both agree across the board. I don't want to bet on this game. But I definitely think the Browns are going to win it.
Prop off the top of your head?
I'm going to say Kareem Hunt touchdown, because Kareem Hunt, he didn't get a touchdown last week, but Kareem Hunt has gotten a touchdown other than last week every single week that Nick Chubb has been in the lineup.
Give me the Carson Wentz interception. They keep him at 0.5. They don't go 1.5 for him. He has the most turnover worthy plays though in the NFL.
Yeah.
Give me the 0.5.
Yeah, those are both good bets. I really like that. All right, let's move on to Lions and Panthers. This is a razor thin line. I don't understand why. Oh wow. Okay, maybe I do. Maybe I'm going to figure out why. I'm taking the Panthers to win this game and to cover. The Panthers are favored by 1.5 points. Panthers have the offense that I think is going to be able to take care of this Lions defense. I think it'll be a fun game. Panthers are really competitive in every game. Like they're 3-. Excuse me, that was a burp. They're 3-6, and they're not like an amazing 3-6 team, but this is a team we didn't expect to be really good.
A lot of promise,
but it's exactly what I was going to say. They're showing a lot of promise. They have pieces, and they're competitive every week. Like they're coached hard, they play hard, and I think against this Lions team, they're coached hard and they play hard as well. But I think the Panthers are going to be better this week.
So is Teddy available to play?
Ooh,
McCaffrey's out.
McCaffrey's out.
McCaffrey's out. Mike Davis is going to play.
Yeah, Mike Davis actually got hurt too. So you're right.
Regardless of the running back though, that's not going to determine it.
Yeah,
that's if Teddy's out. That's why the Lions there. That's why I went Lions.
Wow.
Because Stafford's battling a thumb issue right now, but I think the Lions, Deandre Swift's kind of had a good coming out party right now. Yeah. They're kind of realizing, oh, we drafted a good running back. Let's give it to that good running back. I don't know what it is with coaches sometimes.
Dude, it was kills me, man. Yeah, and keep talking there. I'm going to pull up a crazy stat for you real quick.
I mean, Deandre Swift, he had that dropped game winner week 1, unfortunately. He was able to battle back from that, and he fought back through the depth chart, getting more touches. Adrian Peterson still shows that he has that flash sometimes. But when you look at your future, it's Deandre Swift, and you got to get him out on the field. He's that dynamic playmaker that takes it off of Stafford.
Yeah, so this is the thing. Before last week, before week 10 in the NFL, the Lions were pretty much a three-headed monster. They had Swift averaging about 30 to 40% of the snap share. They had Adrian Peterson averaging about 30% of the snap share, and they had Kerryon Johnson getting in there for about 20 to 25% of the snap share on average, right? This past week, Deandre Swift got 73% of the snaps. Now, that's not carries, that's snaps. Adrian Peterson got 12. Kerryon Johnson got 15. I will say right off the bat for props, if there is an Adrian Peterson prop, take the under. It was 30 yards last week. I took the under and I hit. Actually got pretty close because Adrian Peterson had one pretty good play. But other than that, it was pretty good.
They're moving in the other direction though, because
he's the better player.
Well, it's the turning point in the season to where it's like, okay, this rookie's kind of got, he's gotten his groove.
He's figured it out.
He's figured out our stuff. Let's get away from the aging back and let's get to our future. Yeah. That's what you should do, and that's what they're doing. I
absolutely agree with that. So it's just crazy to see that this was the shift that all these fantasy players were waiting for. If you had Deandre Swift, you were waiting for the shift to Deandre Swift. Now you can start him.
I've seen a lot of people drop him.
Yeah, it will go pick him up. He's available. Yeah, because it wasn't pretty, and he wasn't getting the snap share. He wasn't getting the opportunity. Now he is. This is the seismic shift that anybody who had him in fantasy was waiting for, and I think we should use that in props, depending on what the prop is as well. But I will say my prop for this week, Adrian Peterson under. I'll take the under all day on the rushing yards there. I get what you're saying, and I actually I reserve the right to change my pick here if depending on that. Now, look, I never let a running back decide the line for me.
But Teddy will.
Teddy will, exactly, because they'll be playing, and he's gotten some time because Teddy's been out twice now, and come back the next week.
Who's their backup?
It's the dude who was
PJ Walker.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's PJ Walker. I was gonna say he's the AFL guy
it's a cool story.
Yeah, the XFL guy. Sorry, he was the Houston quarterback in the XFL. It was a great story. But yeah, okay, we disagree on that. That's gonna be a good game. Interesting. I will say this: I do see it as kind of a coin flip game. I think the Panthers are the better team. I can see the Lions winning that. No problem at all. If
Teddy plays, that's where it gets to the coin flip area for me. If Teddy's out, I think it's a game that the Lions should take care of. Yeah. Lions should have won last week, though.
Yeah.
They did win. They won by a field goal.
I thought they did.
They blew the lead.
That's what it was. They were
up like 24 to
every single fucking
24 to 6
against Washington. Yeah, and it looked like Washington was gonna come back and win.
I considered it an L because I bet on the spread.
That's right. All right, so Titans Ravens. All right, This is the line I think is crazy to me. The Ravens are favored by 6.5 points, and that's totally fair. If you think the Ravens are the favorite team, that's fine. I get that. I don't want to let last night's game kind of infect my brain too much because the Patriots obviously won last week, but it was a home game for the Patriots in a thunderstorm. So like games like that are kind of weird. Maybe if it's a neutral field. Honestly, I'll say this right now. I think if the Ravens play the Patriots 10 times, the Ravens are going to win that 6 or 7 times. I think they're the better football team. So I'm not going to let that infect me. Either way, the Titans schematically have the advantage against the Ravens. All right. I'm talking the exact same reason they beat them in the playoffs. The Lions defensively will line up very, very favorably against the Ravens. They were the first team last year to really figure out that offense. And this year, a lot of teams have taken, some of the things that the Titans have done and been able to employ it pretty well. I think the Titans win this game right out. Either way, I think this game is within a touchdown. I don't really see how it's not. I actually think this is a line that's going to change because every week I see a couple lines and I'm like, ooh, that line's going to move. And now, starting last week, I bet on the Bucs last week when the line was 4.5 and I won that. This week right here, I already bet on the Titans. I'm betting on the Titans to win this game outright, or actually to cover 6.5, because I think this line is going to go down and down. I'll take 6.5 points with the Titans all day. I feel really good about that.
Yeah, I think it's safe in saying that too. I think the Titans are going to win this game. I think when you go back and look at that Thursday night football game the Titans played against the Colts, short week, your punter was out, and we didn't expect it to be that big of an issue, but it was bad. I mean, it was an abysmal performance.
Listen, but they lost because of special teams. And look, that sucks. That's a horrible.
Exactly.
It sucked for our boy Trevor Daniels, by the way. For anybody who doesn't know, we went to high school with the punter of the Titans last week. So kind of crazy how that worked out. And I don't think, I didn't know that he was the punter for the Titans. I don't.
Oh, I did. Yeah.
Did you know that?
Well,
okay.
He worked for FedEx. I mean, he was punting for the Texans, got picked up by the Broncos, practice got cut, got his shot with the Titans. It was unfortunate. I'm not going to put all of it on him just because he was coming right off the street, man. And I mean,
I remember I knew that when he went out of college, he was an undrafted free agent for the Texans. Actually punted, I think, the whole year there. I didn't know that he got signed by the Titans.
He overtook Shane Leckler.
That's right.
And, Hall of Fame level punter, and to take on Trevor in that. And they just felt they needed to go a different way. Yeah, they just brought him on. Did you not hear the story about him?
No, I heard the story. I didn't know before the game, I guess is what I was saying.
Yeah, that's how fast it happened with him. And they just decided to pick him up. But nevertheless, here we are. It's all settled. And the Titans lost that game. I think that was one game that was in one area of that game.
And the whole point of what I was trying to say is they were in a very, very tight game. They were in a very competitive football game
until those two
and then
happened.
You had a muffed punt that went like 12 yards, or just a really bad punt went 12 yards. They got the ball on the 30-yard line. It was the equivalent of an interception essentially.
They scored
and
then
the next punt was a blocked punt and they get a touchdown. Game's over. Right.
That is 14 points right there.
Yeah, exactly. Game's over, and it was a close game. But you can't expect that shit to happen every week. Like, this is a neutral game. Obviously, if that happens to the Ravens, if the Titans have that type of performance on special teams, Ravens will win it by 15 points too. But that's not the shit you expect.
That's why the Titans are due for this game, though.
Yeah.
A lot of people would say, though, for the Ravens, because we at least got to cover that side, the Ravens are due for one.
Yeah.
I mean, they're saying that they've been on a skid. Lamar hasn't been playing well. The offense hasn't been clicking. Good defense. I think it's going to wait one more week, though, because if there's a team that knows how to do it, it's the Titans.
I absolutely agree. Do you want to lock that?
Yes.
All right, let's lock it. We got that locked
I'm a
in.
little hesitant only on the fact that the Ravens are due, but that's not a reason to not lock it. That's just something in my head saying Lamar's got to show up, right?
I absolutely agree. All right, Patriots are going to the Texas to play the Texans. The Patriots are favored by 2.5 points. Kind of crazy that the Patriots are favored already, but I mean, it's the Patriots, so whatever.
I think it's that win against the Ravens.
Yeah, I think so, man. I am taking the Patriots to win and the Patriots to cover. These are two, I think, undermanned teams. I'll put it that way. They both have pieces. Obviously, the Patriots defense is still really good. The Texans still have Deshaun Watson. I could see the Texans winning this game. I'm going to take the Patriots to win and cover, though. Yeah,
I'm going to take the Pats to win and cover. Coin flip game, though. Nothing that I would ever bet on money lines or spreads or anything off of that.
Yeah, and that's enough. Do you want to watch that game? Like, half the reason I bet on games is to make games interesting and watch them because I enjoy it. But like, I don't want to watch that game. That's just me. But like, I don't think that's fun. Anyway, let's move on. Bengals, Washington. That's a barn burner, right? The Washingtons are favored by 1.5 points. I think that's wrong. I think the Bengals are going to win this game. I think they're going to, I don't need the points. I think the Bengals win this game. I think the Bengals should be favored in this game, honestly. I get it. Washington has an awesome defensive line and the Bengals offensive line is trash. Either way, I think Joe Burrow will be able to do enough to win that game.
Yeah, Joe Mixon hopefully will be ready to play this game. You know, you can't. They do need him for this one because Giovanni Bernard is Joe Mixon gets that pressure off of Burrow, and with a line like Washington's able to present in the game, yeah, it's going to be a big thing. But I'm shocked to see Washington favored by 1.5.
Yeah,
I thought the Bengals would be a 2.5.
Yeah,
I really did, and I would still take the Bengals off of that. Yeah. I think the Bengals are winning this game. I'm willing to lock this.
Yeah, let's lock it. I hate locking the Bengals, but I'll definitely. I
don't want to lock the Bengals either, but Alex Smith officially won Comeback Player of the Year real quick for them. It was good. I think he's got it. I think Big Ben would like a word on that award though. I've seen a lot of people say that it's his though.
He wins it? Really?
Did you not see Adam Schefter's tweet?
What was it? What did he say?
Oh, it was before the game when Alex Smith was announced a starter. He said, "And the winner of the Comeback Player of the Year goes to."
Oh, just because he came back. Okay, yeah, I get that. The fact,
and that is really good and testament to what he wants to build around his character and stuff for Alex Smith. I mean, it's been a long road for him.
I get that,
but yeah.
Yeah, I get it. The big thing is he playing? He's on a bad team. He's playing okay. I get it. It's an awesome story. I don't want to. You know what? I don't want to shit on it. That's an awesome story. I hope he wins it. That's fine.
You can't. I bet say you can't shit.
Ben Roethlisberger does not need the Comeback Player of the Year award. He's got enough awards. He's got enough Super Bowls. He's fine.
Whoa, he's 9-0. Leave him alone. He's doing.
That's what I'm saying. He doesn't need a fucking Comeback Player of the Year award. He's got enough going for him. That's like you see what I'm saying. Like he doesn't. Yeah. Like I'm not gonna feel bad for Ben Roethlisberger for not getting it.
And that's why.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we'll move on. Falcons Saints. I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time on. Oh wow, you have Falcons winning this game?
Yeah, I do.
Wow. Okay. You can spend a lot of time on this.
I'm about to say.
I'm taking the Saints.
You were shocked when you saw it too. I have the Falcons winning this game outright. I think this is going to be the skid that starts with Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill. I think if Sean Payton would trust his offensive weapons in Kamara and Thomas, and hopefully he does. He's a very smart coach. He did it last year and saying, but the way that this is playing out in my head is that the Falcons are due for one. They are a good offensive team. They can put up some points, and I think Sean Payton might get a little too cute with it. Have too many Taysom Hill draws right up the middle, gets put in 3rd and 8s, and Jameis is in some tight spots in a close game. And I think we've seen it. We've seen it before.
I get that. I get that a lot.
That's why this is my upset of the week. I don't normally do this. I haven't done it a lot this year at all.
That's fine. Hey, I call my shots. I called the Bengals to upset Steelers last week and missed that by a mile. So I respect that. I love it when we do that.
If there's a week to do it, it's when Drew Brees ain't there.
Yeah, I get it. I totally get that storyline. I think this is part of the reason I was looking at MVP odds, right?
Yeah.
And Alvin Kamara was there at plus 5,000, and I was looking at it and I was thinking, with Drew Brees being out, and they're probably just going to lean on Alvin Kamara more than ever. He might have the stats for a running back to actually win it. Like he might. And I was looking at it, I didn't end up betting it, but it was like $5 to win 250. Like it was I really thought about it. I really did.
Don't fact check me on it, but I'm almost certain he's leading in receptions on that team.
I'm almost certain he is too. Yeah. But I'm going to take Saints. I get what you're saying, but I just think
I get it. It's a safe pick. Yeah. Saints should win this game, but hey man, Falcons got the offensive capability to do it. I
absolutely agree. We'll move on to Steelers and Jags. I'm taking the Jags get 10 points in this game. So Steelers are favored by 10. I am taking the Steelers to win this. I do not think that they will cover 10 points. I think the Jags showed last week. Look, they were within 4 points against the Packers last week. The Jags are a rough and tough team. They fight to the end. They're not talented enough to win a lot of these games, but you have to respect the fight. Like they put up a fight every single week. Similar to the Panthers in that sense that they fight and claw and they give every single team their best. And I think they're going to do that to the Steelers. I think it's going to be a close game.
Jags
close, relatively.
No.
7-point game.
When you say that, I have the Steelers winning and I have the Steelers covering. And I go back to the way that the Jags were able to cover that game against the Packers. Mm-hmm. You had a Keelan Cole punt return touchdown that was an incredible play. You had a Devontae Adams unfortunate fumble that flipped the field and gave the Jags the ball again at the 30. So there's a lot of things that kind of and the Packers came out slow too. A lot of things that kind of went in the Jags' favor. They are a good team, though, when you look at and you can say that for a lot of teams in the NFL. At the bottom of the pile right there, there's a lot of teams that are true fighters. They have a lot of good pieces here, and the Jags are a good team. But the Steelers should win this game, and they should cover this.
Yeah. Fair enough. We'll move on. I totally get what you're saying. I just, again, the game I'm not going to bet on. Let's move on to Jets and Chargers. The Chargers are favored by 8.5 points. I took the Chargers to win this game. Obviously, I'm never going to bet on the Jets I will not pick the Jets to win one game this year, no matter what the odds, no matter anything like that. And I am taking the Jets to cover 8.5 because I've seen the Chargers give up leads. I've seen the Chargers be in a situation where they should win and they don't too many times. I don't trust the Chargers to win any game by 9 points. I just don't. That's why I'm taking the Jets. Not something I want to bet on, but that's just where I'm at with this.
Yeah, you can barely trust the Chargers to win any game outright right now, depending on where they go with the lead. You know, I picked the Chargers. I picked the Chargers to cover because this is how bad the Jets are in itself. But when are the Jets going to win?
They might not.
Okay, they might not. They very well might not. Yeah. They might not want to fuck up this, lose for Lawrence type of dilemma that they're in, but they're going to get one.
You think you could see it happen?
Winless teams just don't happen that often.
Yeah. Okay, but you're taking the Chargers to cover.
Yes, Chargers are going to get it, but I'm just saying put a pin in it. The Jets are going to get one.
It's could happen.
We'll move on. They're going to get one.
Hey, we'll clip it out if they get it this one.
My prop for the week for this game, Kalen Ballage, just look at the yards for him. They're using him a lot. His usage rate, he's running angry. He's running really well
over 55.
Yeah, I would look
over 55 that. For sure. All right, we'll move on. Dolphins, Broncos. This isn't a game we don't need to spend a whole lot of time on. Dolphins are favored by 3.5 points. I love what the Dolphins are doing. They're on a 5-game winning streak, 3-game winning streak with Tua as the starter. I don't think that changes. We got Drew Lock out. I think this line is off because Drew Lock is out. I don't think they're going to be as competitive as maybe, though. I think this line is off. I think the Dolphins should win by more than 4 points, mainly because they've done it. Like they've been competitive with teams they shouldn't beat, like the Cardinals and Rams, and they have put away teams they should beat, like the Chargers. I mean, so I've seen enough to say I do think they're going to win this game.
We're about to lock the damn Dolphins.
Are we?
That's crazy. Isn't it?
Yeah,
that's where we're at right now.
Do it.
Tua, you're doing everything that is asked of you and then some. The way the Dolphins handled him is immaculate. It's awesome. Props to the organization and Brian Flores. I hope y'all are able to sneak into the playoffs.
Yes, I'm so glad we're locking this. Hell yeah.
I hope so.
Oh, man, that's awesome. I can't wait to talk about it next week. All right, we'll move on. You agree with everything I said? No, nothing else to add? Cowboys, Vikings. This is a game the Vikings need to win. They are favored by 7.5 points. 48-point over-under. Who do you have winning this game?
Got the Vikings winning, got the Vikings covering. Adam Thielen, you showed once again, Justin Jefferson was kind of taking the spotlight. You showed that you were a true top 15 wide receiver in the game. At weeks, you have the ability to be top 5. You're a game changer. Your route running is bar none. And let's see Dalvin Cook get back to it, too. Yeah. That's what's going to take care of this game.
I love it. I'm taking the Cowboys to cover, but I just don't feel confident about 7.5 points. Not a game I would touch.
It's one of those Cowboys-Steelers games.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So we'll move on. Packers-Colts. I have the Packers winning. The Colts are favored by 2.5 points. This is going to be a great game. I'm super excited for this game. I wish it was the Sunday night game because it's going to be that good. I'm taking the Packers to win, and the Packers, you give me 2.5 points with the Packers, I will take that all day. This is a coin flip game, though. I could see the Colts winning.
I can see the Colts winning, too. You just don't know which Colts is going to show up. They have a great defense. Packers, Aaron Rodgers, 2 points being the underdog. Yeah, run it.
Absolutely. All right, we'll move on to Chiefs, Raiders. The Raiders beat the Chiefs, beat them in a good fashion a couple weeks ago, and now they get the Chiefs get their revenge. Chiefs are favored by 6.5 points. I think this is a Chiefs fuck you game. I think the Chiefs come out and dominate the Raiders. On the Chiefs' best day, they will not lose to the Raiders ever. All right. If the Chiefs, obviously every team, every week, these aren't robots, they're players, they're humans. You have a bad week, it happens. I do not think the Chiefs will come out as anything other than perfect. I think Patrick Mahomes will light them up. I think the Chiefs crush the Raiders.
You know what? I had the Raiders to cover. But you convinced me. The Chiefs, you're right, though. The Chiefs are due. When they are firing on all cylinders, it takes the Chiefs having the bus showing up an hour late, Pat Mahomes feeling a little froggy, something's wrong with him, for them to lose. When they're on, have fun. Sit back on the sidelines and watch it happen.
Yeah, and you already beat them once. Yeah, they're not losing twice. Yeah. I absolutely agree with you. We'll move on to last game of the week.
We disagree.
Monday night. Rams Bucs. I'm glad we disagree on this one. This is a good game to disagree on.
It's a good game. I want to have something to pull for.
Yeah, it'll be a fun game. I'm taking the Buccaneers to win this and the Buccaneers to cover. And they do get 3.5 points, by the way. I wouldn't bet on the Bucs covering because I do think this game could be close. I think the Bucs are just a better football team, up and down. I think they will be able to move the ball against a really good Rams defense. It'll be interesting to see how well the Bucs defense can handle the Rams. I think it'll be good. I think it'll be fine for the Bucs. I think they'll win this game. I could see the Rams winning though.
That's why I have the Rams winning. I think the defensive line for the Rams is going to disrupt the Bucs early enough Ronald Jones took off 187 yards and some touchdowns. And I mean, it was an incredible game. That's going to go back to normal. Oh, I bet it did if you probably took the under on that.
Dude,
because you don't know where the carries are going.
Fucked up, man. No, the Ronald Jones had gotten 25% of the snap share the past 2 weeks. I took Ronald Jones on the under everywhere, and I got crushed on that. But
it was weird in considering that he had a fumble early on too. So you would think
I thought for sure
Arians was like pulling that ass.
He got the fumble. I thought I won it. I was so fucking happy. And they kept running him, and I'm like, it's fine. It was a 60-point under, so it was fine. And then one play, snap,
boom,
it sucked. That was a bad one.
The Rams aren't really going to be able to give that up. Jalen Ramsey, depending on who he shadows, in probably Chris Godwin, I would say. Let Mike Evans and Antonio Brown kind of do their own thing. Bucs should win this game, but the Rams are a gritty team and they're going to take it. We have to find a shot bet before we close this thing out.
If you give me the Bucs straight up, I'll take the Bucs.
I will not do the Bucs straight up.
Damn.
You're not getting me on that one.
Give me 2.5 points.
No. Damn. Let's go back to the Falcons Saints game. Give me 6.5 points.
Falcons Saints. Oh yeah, I'll give you 6.5 points on the Falcons. But the line is 4.5.
So I want 2 more points.
Okay, I'll give you 1 more point.
5.5.
5.5.
What does that do? At what point do we see 5.5?
6 points is a number.
I mean,
6 points is that's a big enough number to change things.
Okay.
I just saw the flashback of every fucking loss that you've taken.
That's what it was, because I was thinking in my head, I was like, every time I fucking crunch numbers, I lose, damn it. Every time it's 2.5 versus 1.5, 65 yards. Let's go 55 yards. I fucking lose. If it's 6.5, we both do 2 shots.
Deal.
Any higher than that, you win. Any lower than that, of course, I win. That's where we're at.
All right. Sounds good, guys. We are going to close out the show. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to the podcast. Go on YouTube if you're listening on the podcast, and like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We really appreciate you guys. We'll be back next week with the AFC look. Peace out, guys.